himself, Pat McFadden, as a present-day Wolverhampton MP, despite the strength there of Ian Austin's feelings about this, quite obviously, is it not still the case that Enoch Powell was to some extent right, to the extent that immigration and some of those factors, the social cohesion issues were at play still, for example, in the Brexit vote, particularly in the Black Country with the Leave sentiment there?
I think the speech was wrong in its predictions and cynical in its motivations. Enoch Powell knew what he was doing. He planned the speech very carefully. He tried to get maximum publicity for it. And I think to honour him now with a blue plaque would be a huge mistake. It would send a terrible signal to many of the citizens of the city. We've come along a long way since those sentiments. The city has come together as a successful, multi-faith, multiracial city. So I think this would be a deeply divisive move. And I also think it would send a terrible external signal about what Wolverhampton stands for today. So as a local MP, I'm completely opposed to this idea.
Would a blue plaque really honour him, though, or is it not just a sort of recording of the fact that he served as an MP, and not to allow it to take place is almost like trying to airbrush Enoch Powell out of history?
Well, I agree with Pat on this. I don't think we should be looking backwards. I think we should be looking forwards. And I think we have a great deal to celebrate in the West Midlands in terms of the success of the diversity in this region. Paul Uppel highlighted the irony, in a way, that Enoch Powell's old seat selected him as an East African migrant as its MP. And of course, in the week when we've celebrated International Women's Day, let's remember that Eleanor Smith is the first black female MP, and she now represents that seat. These are things to be celebrated. And, you know, come 2022, Patrick, when the Commonwealth Games are going to be held here in West Midlands with facilities right across the region, I think we need to look forward to the big opportunities and advantages we have of being so diverse.
Nevertheless, mercifully few and far between, but we have seen riots in Handsworth and Losells. We have seen a lack of social cohesion with the different ethnic communities, often living segregated lives from each other. So all is not well in the garden, and to that extent I come back to the suggestion that aspects of what Powell was talking about are still present in the sort of roots of our society.
Well, what you describe is certainly not true of Wolverhampton, where we've come together very well as a city. You know, earlier this week I attended the funeral of one of the city's most favourite sons, our Mayor Elias Matu. Every faith was represented. You know, every part of the city was on the streets to pay tribute to a great man. To do this, I think, would be backward-looking, it would be divisive, it would be a terrible external signal, and I am, as I say again, completely opposed to
Would you
the
go
idea.
to this rally yourselves, really, or is it just
I would, I'll be there.
Isn't there a danger we're just sort of raking it up and actually reviving some of those divisions that Ian Austin says we want to sort of celebrate the absence of what's happened?
It's very close, the 19th of April, to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, when all the heads of the Commonwealth will be here, and I think it will be a very strong signal to send to the other Commonwealth countries that we embrace the heritage which we have, that we work together, we grow together, we're better off together.
But is Brexit a re-emergence of anti-immigration sentiment? Isn't that also part of this?
It did resurface, but I think it's important that we here in the West Midlands celebrate how we have integrated and how what a heroic welcome this region has given to successive migrants who've come here for safe haven. We need to continue to do that.
Final quick thought on this.
Look, I won't decide who gets a blue plaque or not. Other people decide that. But as local MPs, I think sometimes we've got to show a bit of leadership and take a stand. Okay. And I'm completely opposed to this idea.
Okay. Thank you both.